we are in the early seconds of a live, so we're gonna just start setting things up and go from there. I really don't have anything planned today. There's no sneak peeks, nothing like that, but I did want to hop on and have a live, so we'll see who all joins, see what happens. The last couple ones have been pretty cool. You guys come in and ask a lot of questions and stuff like that, and I do enjoy chatting, so we'll see what goes on. I try to be somewhat chatty at the beginning here because these videos do go onto the channel, and so I try to just talk a little bit at the beginning so it's not so blank space for the videos after they're on the channel. So hello. I may keep these. How's it going? Welcome. We're just hanging out today. No real sneak peeks, nothing like that for the next video. We had some things pop up that I'm not going to get a video out on Friday this week. I've been trying to do Monday and Friday videos and then like a Wednesday, something like that live. But just had some things pop up this week that we're not going to be able to do that. Waiting on, I do have, from the last live, we were talking about things that were being shipped and stuff like that. And so I do have confirmation that things will be here in the next couple of days, as far as tracking numbers and all that stuff. So we're looking good after that, because once all the hardware and stuff like that gets here, we've been waiting on titanium stuff. We should be rolling. So I do have, however, I guess I could show this. Oh, we do have this out of the box. So this is the transfer case. This is part of what has been holding us up. I had to remove some things on the underside, and I had to order some things real quick, and so waiting on that. But transfer case is out of the box and is ready to go on the car. So going to give that a whirl. I got under there and tried to like test fit some things. Not like test fit it, but like see how I'm going to get it up into the car. Whether or not I want to put the oil in it while it's off the car or wait and do it while it's on the car. It's recommended to do it while it's off the car, and you pour the oil into the top of the transfer case. But I wanted to see if I could get it under there and get it mounted without like tipping it and all the oil coming out the end of it. So I think I can. My drive shaft is kind of like not unhooked, but you can bring it down a little bit. And I think once I put the oil into it, and then I can mate them together and slide the drive line into the transfer case and keep the oil from coming out, and then I can get it up into there and should be able to mount it just fine that way. If not, we do have, there's like a national back order on this oil, but they sent some with it, and then I ordered two quarts that I was able to find, luckily, even through the back order stuff. And so we have 3 quarts here. So I guess worst case scenario, we have 3 attempts to get it done. I did buy like an oil blanket to lay down because you just never know. And so, yeah, we're gonna give it a whirl and see if I can get it done. But that'll be in next week's video because, like I said, we did hit a little bit of a roadblock and waiting on some things. But yeah, I'm excited to get that thing back onto there because that is. I mean, that's a big part of it. I mean, that seems like such a long time ago. This felt like such a long away task to get done, and knowing that we're there is really, really cool. And so if you watched the last couple of videos, we did do the subframe and all that is now refreshed. And so once the transfer case goes on, I'm looking at my list up here. Once the transfer case goes on, really the subframe can go on. We Cerakoted the studs and stuff like that if you missed that video. And so we're in that like 5-day window of like curing time. And so I mean, TK subframe, and then it's just like buttoning things up. Intercooler and stuff like that has to go on, but that's all, I mean, that's all relatively easy stuff and nothing really to be concerned about in my opinion. But yeah, we'll be putting on suspension components here soon, which is super exciting. It feels wild that we're at the end of this project almost. I mean, I say that, but there's still like 2 rows of things here on my list to do, but it's all like small stuff. So, hello, welcome. Thanks for joining. We're just hanging out today. No real like sneak peeks on stuff, nothing like that. We hit some roadblocks on a video, and so kind of waiting around for that stuff to get here in a couple of days. I do have confirmation they'll be here in a couple of days, so just waiting on that right now. But going over the list, what we got to do, I'll say we're nearing, like the light is very bright at the end of the tunnel for right now. So yeah, I'm getting super excited. These little tiny roadblocks like this are like getting me more antsy now than they ever have, because it's like we're right there, you know? So yeah, but it is what it is. You're working on cars, things are going to pop up, things are going to happen. So you got to do what you got to do. Having the majority of this board marked off, though, is cool to look at. I will say that. How is everyone today? If you're just joining, feel free to chat down there. Don't be backwards. If anyone's backwards, it's me. You wouldn't think it, but whoops. Oh. Trying to think if there's anything else that I can update you guys on, aside from the transfer case and stuff being out of the box and currently on the floor. We do have all the oils that are going to go in. We've had that for a little bit, but there's nothing really right now that's like a big shocking update, which not everything has to be, like not every video is going to be like the next like greatest thing in the world. Sometimes it's just progress and it's just little things, and so I don't like the idea of like every time I put out a video it has to be like this like groundbreaking, shocking new thing, and it's like it's not always like that. So I feel like it's more relatable, and it's more real life than just like every time you do something's like, oh, this is the greatest thing I've ever done or whatever. So I think we're getting there. I have a lot of ideas and stuff to change up some content and stuff this year. So it is, I mean, just, well, it is February now, but like it's just the end of January. So even though January has felt like 2 years, it's something like it's been a very long month. And I don't think, like, yeah, it has 31 days, but I really don't think those 2 days make that big of a difference. But it has felt like forever. I've been seeing a lot of videos and stuff online of everyone talking about how like it's still January and all this. So it's not just me, I guess, but I'm trying to read through this list here and make sure I've got everything on there, because I always end up, like just a little bit ago, I was looking at putting on this oil return line that comes off of the turbo. I was looking at putting on that for the videos next week, and of course, I don't know where I thought I ordered them. Guess I didn't, but there's 2 bolts that go to the oil pan and 2 bolts that go to the turbo, and didn't have those, so I had to order those. But luckily I didn't need those like right now, but they'll be here in plenty of time. But just one of those things where like there's so many, I've ordered so many bolts and so many pieces of hardware and stuff like that, that even though I try to keep like super meticulous track of everything, you just forget stuff. I mean, there's just things that you miss. I try to be as like thorough as possible, but man, is it, you do come up on some things sometimes that you just didn't think about or thought you had and you don't. But like I said, it's working on cars. It is working on cars. And if you're not, you know, at first I tried to like be so meticulous that I was like minimizing like a bunch of mistakes and stuff like that. But the quicker you get the idea in your head that like there's going to be things that you that you miss and forget and stuff like that, the easier it's going to be on you. At least it was for me, because I tried to be as careful as possible, and then when things popped up I was like, oh man, like, you know, this is whatever. But the more that happens, and the more you realize that, like, just accept it, that things are going to pop up, things are going to happen. It's easier in my mind anyway. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining. How are you this evening? I do still see, like, just looking up here at the list again, I do still see this one task on there that I am not looking forward to tackling. It's not like super hard, but these those stainless brake lines that we have to run all the way to the back, I'm gonna have to drop the gas tank a little bit more, or a little bit, to get them on there, and just not looking forward to dropping the gas tank a little bit again. Hopefully I can drop it, like, not take it all the way off, like just lower it down a little bit on the studs or on the mounting points it has up in there, and not like all the way down, but just enough to like come in through, like up under the seat where you go in there, and I should be able to unbolt those brackets that are holding on the stock brake lines, and get them off of there pretty easily, I hope. I really don't want to, the guy I got the brake lines from, he was just like, just cut them, and I was like, oh, that makes me nervous to just cut those, because if I ever have to go back to them, I wouldn't have them. But with everything on the car, I may have to. So I'm going to keep that option in my head as, like, this may happen. So we'll cross our fingers. We'll cross our fingers we don't have to, but it is a potentially a thing we're going to have to do. But we'll see when we get there. The Evo is coming along good. It's right now I'll turn the camera around. We are moving right along. We got everything down to the piping and stuff like that. So intercooler piping, stuff like that has to go on next. But I was working on the transfer case. We got it out of the box and all that. And then some things popped up that I wasn't expecting. And so we had to order that. So that's why I was talking about earlier, we're not going to have a video on Friday this week. But thought I'd hop on here and just hang out. And the last couple of lives have been fun, and so I thought I'd pop on here and do some chatting and stuff like that. But that is holding us up currently, the transfer case, and so it is ready to go on. We do have all the oils and all that stuff, so moving right along. Like I said earlier, the subframe is ready to go on. All that kind of stuff's good to go. It's just getting these last little big pieces on there first. But overall, it's we're almost to the finish line, I feel like, anyway. Thank you. I appreciate it. I am doing my best. Like I was saying, I try to be as thorough and meticulous as I can be, but sometimes things just pop up, and I forget these small things and little things that I think I have covered, but I don't. But it is what it is. So we got to do what we got to do to keep continuing on. But I appreciate the kind words. I tried a new technique earlier. I have some more on the way, because I always order just like little handfuls of them whenever I can. But these crush washers, I saw this thing online where, like, you can reuse them if you, like, sand them down. And so I put them on some sandpaper and was, like, scuffing them up. And you can see the high and low spots. And they say just to sand it until you don't see those anymore. And it actually worked. Like, these are super flat now. And so I may not have to I may be able to reuse those and not have to use the new ones we have coming, but the car is looking great. What are your power goals? Honestly, that has changed so much since I started this whole project. I don't really know. I mean, honestly, whenever I had the car the first time, it had like 480 to the wheels, and so that was like stock bottom end, stock everything. It just had cams and the FP Black on it. And I'm not going to run E85. I'm going to do pump gas all the way. I just don't. I don't like the idea of E85, I guess, because one, it's hard to find around here. I have not seen it anywhere in this area so far, and so I just don't want to have a gas that you could run the dual maps and all that stuff, but I don't have dual pumps. I just have one pump in the tank, and so I'll just stay to pump. It's easier that way, and I'm not looking for like astronomical numbers. And so with everything we have on the car now that has changed since I started this thing, with everything I have on the car, I'm expecting at least like 550 to the wheels. I don't know if we'll get there or whatever based on some of the stuff we have, but I've seen cars that have basically the same parts I do, and they're at like 600, so or more based on E85. But the parts I have should be good up until that point, and so 550 to 6 is a good range, and I think that's, to be honest, like for what I'm going to use it for, and it being a street car, I feel like that's a monster. The car felt insane with 480, and so just regular street driving and stuff like that, I don't feel like anything more than that is useful at that point. So I want to just have like a good, reliable tune, not like crazy high boost. I don't want to push any of the parts to their breaking point and stuff like that, and I think it'll be fine. Everyone complains about Evos being like unreliable and stuff like that, but I owned this car for 7 years before and had 0 issues. It's just you can't max out parts and expect them to last, and so I just want it to be reliable and to run all the time. But thank you for the kind words on the car looking great. It's been a very long process. Wonder if I can see here. Yeah, there we go. I do have, sitting over there as well, the new catch can showed up that we're switching to. I have the old one for sale if anyone's looking for an STM vented catch can. We do have one of those. Decided to go sealed instead of vented. I talked to those guys and a little bit more this time, and they said they usually do that on their cars and they recommend the sealed one, so went with that one instead. So long process, but you're doing quality work. I'm sure it'll be a blast when it's finished. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yes, it is a very long process, but there's been times where I got frustrated with myself as like it's taking so long. It's not like your typical, like, I guess, YouTube build. It is very, very long, but I just want to be cautious and I want to do things right, and I'm trying to make sure I do good work and things like that, and learning along the way and stuff like that as well has been it's been a very nice experience and very fun experience, like learning all these things and learning new stuff and all that. So I'm fine, now I'm fine with taking this long. It is what it is. Like I'm trying to show everything because I don't have the maybe I'm wrong, but with my current like following and stuff like that, I don't have the ability to just like title videos whatever I want, and like just show a bunch of random things in there and like people come to watch and stuff like that. So in my mind, I've been trying to do like searchable videos and things. So I've been breaking everything up into like super like individual tasks, but I'm able to like I'm able to name them things that can be searchable and like discoverable and stuff like that. And so trying to do things and get things accomplished as well as keeping that stuff in mind. It's just like I said, we're learning as we go, and so with everything, with the car, YouTube, everything. So you know, it may not be. I might not do it that way in the long run. In the future, whenever things, you know, continue to grow or whatever, then we can do things like that and just like do a bunch of random stuff, make a ton of progress in a video as opposed to like one task. But you know, just doing what I think is best right now, and if it changes, then we can always pivot and alter. But yeah, I appreciate the comments though. Everyone's been very supportive and very positive, and I do appreciate that very, very much. I'm trying to, in the YouTube world, I've been building cars and having modified cars for a long, long time, but I've been trying to, like, you know, pay my online dues, you know? And just make sure I do things and show everything, you know, whether or not something goes wrong, or if I don't know, I don't know. And so being able to, I feel like being able to admit that and just being like, you know what, I'm learning. So, it's been a fun process though, I will say that. I feel like I went back and watched an old video a couple weeks ago, and I feel like I've come such a long way as far as like my editing style and how I put videos together and stuff like that. And as long as I can keep continuing to grow and keep continuing to learn, whether it's creatively or, I mean, for sure in the car world and the car things, I'm super satisfied. I've said it before in videos, but this thing here was one of the best investments I have done in recent months to figure out like bolt sizing and all that stuff. It's literally just everything, studs and holes, and you can figure out a lot of things with this. But I mean, I will say on the car, they're all pretty much M6, M8, M10. That's like the most popular ones I think I've seen. But it does come in super handy when there's like obscure things you don't know about. And it allows you to order new hardware, which we've done a lot of if you've been following along. I was doing some checking on some bolts earlier to make sure I had what I was looking for. Oh man. Went to a concert last night, so I'm a little tired today still. Not super tired, but it was a late one, and we had to drive back like 3 hours from the show. So it was a fun night though. We went and saw Beartooth and Apply and You and a couple other bands, which was a really good show. We saw Beartooth last year at a different venue, but this show was much more produced. It was more of a production and it was a really, really good show. I was very happy with it. Well worth the drive. I know we talked about like bands and music in the last live, and a lot of you guys like the same bands, so. I've been talking about trying to do these lives every week, and so far, the last month or so, we've been on a pretty good schedule. I don't know if, like I said last time, I'm not sure if this is like going to be the actual schedule, because I usually do them on Wednesdays, but today's obviously not Wednesday, but you're trying to find a good time of day to do it and a right day to do it. I figured out, like I said, on Mondays and Fridays, I'm doing videos to go up, and then putting the live in the middle, basically because that's what I know it says it doesn't help it in like long term, but like when you upload it, but right now my analytics are showing that Mondays and Fridays are my popular days or most of you guys are online on those days, so I'm trying to just follow along with that schedule. If it seems like I'm jumping around my video uploads, that's usually why. I'm just trying to do it of what I think is best, like we were talking about earlier, but it does change and fluctuate, and I'd like to get more on a steady schedule. So this month I tried to test out the Monday, Friday, and then the Wednesday thing, and I think that's a pretty nice, based on how I do things and stuff like that, I think that's a pretty good schedule for me. So that may be the more permanent thing from here on out. Instead of chasing analytics and things like that, I can just have my days to upload, and that'll be that. That way you guys at least know, like, hey, it's a Monday, there's going to be a video, or hey, it's a Friday, there's going to be a video, rather than wonder what this week's video is going to be and what day. I'm gonna have to get a new tripod too. This thing broke recently. It's not like super broken, but it just it kind of comes out right there, and then the top part pivots and swivels and everything else. It's I've had it for a long time, but I think it's gotten its uses. It was cheap too. It was very cheap. It's still a Nikon tripod, but not their best best quality, I'm sure. I think it was like $50. But hey, I've had that thing, like I said, for like 10 years, maybe. I've used it for a lot of different things, but I will show these too. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this or heard of this. I'm sure you have. If you're into cars, then you know most of this stuff. And like I said, I'm not giving like groundbreaking advice, but these little guys right here, these little hockey pucks, they were like $8 for 2 of them on Amazon. And these things on your jack are really nice. They're rubber, so they don't like scuff anything up, and provides a really nice support. I bought a couple of these a while back when I first started doing this stuff, and it was very, very nice. I was pleased because my jacks didn't come with like things to put in there, so it's just metal on metal, and I wasn't a fan of that, being as we just coated the whole underside of this thing. So I'm like, we don't want to chip anything up and stuff like that. And so those things were a lifesaver. Where we at here? About 28 minutes. I'll probably stay on for another couple minutes and see if anyone else jumps in and has comments or questions. But I've gotten pretty much everything out here cleaned up that I was doing here at the end of the day, but what's going on? How's it going? Thanks for joining. We're just hanging out in the garage, chit-chatting a little bit. Oh, actually, we got some stuff over here that I left in the floor. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this one off here. I do appreciate everyone hopping in, chatting. I'm really happy with how these lives are starting off, and everyone that participates and all that stuff. I do appreciate it very much. And like I said, there won't be a video this Friday. We ran into some roadblocks, and so there will be a video at the beginning of the week next week, hopefully. And if we can get stuff over the weekend, I should be able to complete the videos, but it's possible that they will be next Friday at the latest. I hope to not be that late, but we'll see how it goes. But thanks for joining, like I said, and I will see you in the next one. And yeah, bye.